Have you ever wished you could just hit a reset button on your brain? Rebuild it from the ground up, get rid of all the bad habits, the brain fog, the constant distractions, and just install a brand new operating system for peak performance. Well, today we're diving into a powerful blueprint that's designed to do. Now, this isn't just some nice motivational quote. It's a statement of radical responsibility. The idea here is that every single thing you do, what you eat, what you focus on, it's not just a passing moment. It is the chisel and hammer you are using to literally shape the person you are going to be tomorrow. You are not a passenger in your own mind. You are its architect. So, that's the million-dollar question, right? How do you actually go from wanting to change to having the blueprint, the actual map to get it done? Well, that's exactly what the system aims to provide. And here it is, the blueprint itself. This is a super structured 90-day protocol, and it's broken down into 3 very distinct phases. The end goal? To achieve what the system calls neural liberation, which is basically a state of effortless high performance. So here's how that 90-day journey is mapped out. It all starts with the foundation phase, where you're consciously and deliberately building new habits. Then you move into integration, and that's where those habits start to run on autopilot. And finally, you reach liberation, where this whole new way of operating just becomes who you are. Effortless. All right, let's dive into phase 1, building neural highways. I want you to think of this as the heavy lifting. For the first 30 days, you are deliberately, with pure repetition and willpower, forging brand new pathways in your brain. And yeah, it is designed to be the hardest part of the entire journey. So what does this construction work actually look like? Well, here are some of the core non-negotiables. Waking up at 4:30 a.m. with no snooze isn't just about being an early bird. It's about winning the first battle of the day with an act of discipline. The key here is that every single one of these actions, from Vipassana meditation to cutting out social media apps, is designed to do one thing: reduce noise and force your brain to build those new connections. Now let's be real, this is going to be hard. The system fully expects what it calls the resistance phase. Your brain naturally fights change. It wants to stay where it's comfortable. So the solution here is a conscious identity shift. Instead of seeing these as difficult chores, you start reframing your internal story through affirmations, literally aligning your identity with the person you're becoming. So you get through that initial 30 days of struggle, and then you enter phase 2, automation. This is where all that hard work really starts to pay off. Those new neural highways you built, they start to operate automatically. They move from the front of your mind to the background, and they require way less willpower. You can really see the shift right here. In phase 1, your prefrontal cortex, your decision-making brain, is working overtime. But by phase 2, those neural pathways get myelinated. Think of it like putting rubber insulation on a copper wire to make the signal faster and more efficient. Suddenly, the habits stop feeling like work, and they just start feeling natural. In this phase, you also start integrating more advanced learning tools, like the Feynman technique. It's built on a really simple but powerful idea. You don't truly understand something until you can explain it in the simplest terms. This process forces you to find the gaps in your own knowledge and build a much deeper level of comprehension. And that brings us to the final 30 days, phase 3, liberation. This is the mountaintop. This is the goal. Your new system is no longer something you do, it's something you are. It just runs on autopilot, freeing up your conscious mind for creativity, for problem solving, for peak performance. And in this final phase, you're not just maintaining habits, you're upgrading them. You start mastering advanced protocols, like being able to trigger a flow state on command. You bring in biohacking techniques, like 24-hour fasts, to supercharge your body's cellular cleanup process. You're basically fine-tuning your new mental operating system for elite-level performance. Okay, so after all that work, what's the actual payoff? I mean, what does this new operating system really look and feel like in the real world? Let's just talk numbers for a second. The data shows that the average ability to stay in deep focus can go from about 25 minutes to a full 120 minutes of uninterrupted work. That's almost a 400% increase in your productive capacity. We are not talking about small tweaks here. This is a fundamental upgrade to your entire cognitive engine. And this isn't just about feeling better. Your brain is physically changing. Studies of people who follow these kinds of intense protocols show a thicker prefrontal cortex, which means better decisions, an expanded hippocampus for enhanced memory, and a less reactive amygdala, which means you become biologically calmer and less prone to stress. It's incredible. And all of this leads to the ultimate goal: liberation. And this isn't about being perfect. It's about a fundamental shift in your baseline. It's that state where you no longer have to meditate. You need to. Where deep focus is just your default setting. And the discipline you work so hard to build no longer feels like a prison. It feels like the very source of your freedom. And so we end right back where we began, but with a totally new understanding. This affirmation is no longer just a goal you're striving for. It's a statement of fact. After 90 days, you've proven to yourself physically and mentally that you are in fact the architect. So the question is no longer how you build your mind, but what you're going to build next.